Oh, hello there. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're gonna do a review of Station 11. I don't know why I did that. I have talked about this book in my September TBR and my September book haul. So, you should already know what I think so far about this book. But I finished it last night. I've actually finished it last night, and I want to do a review. Well, it's still quick in my head. I was going to do a spoiler-free and a spoiler section, but I filmed it a few times, and I got no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just going to do a quick spoiler-free review of this book, and if you want to know my thoughts, you can start up a conversation with me in the comments, so we'll make the comments spoiler territory, and the video spoiler free. How does that sound? If you don't want spoilers, don't look in the comments. So in this book, 99% of the world's population is wiped out by a swine flu with a quick incubation period and then a quick period to death, and it's 100% deadly, and this just doesn't make sense. So 99% of the world's population has been wiped out by this flu. It's like 20 years later, and there's these small settlements, and they've learned to adapt to. There's no electricity, there's no internet, there's no running water, there's no phones, it's just a giant shitstorm of apocalypse happened. You've got this traveling symphony, and they travel around, I think it's the edge of North America, so the entire continent, and they go to these settlements and they perform Shakespeare and they perform symphonies. So they're called the Traveling Symphony. They just go around and they perform for the settlements. A big chunk of the book is told from the perspective of Kirsten Raymond, who was a child actor, and she was in a production of King Lear when the lead actor, Arthur Leander, died on stage of a heart attack. And so the other points of view are sort of the other people in Arthur's life. So you've got Miranda, who's Arthur's first wife. She has a good chunk of the book as well. And then you also have the perspectives of Jeevan, who is the point of view character at the start when shit goes down. And then you have also Clark, who is Arthur's best friend. And towards the end of the book, you also have Arthur's point of view as well. And then you've also got these other minor characters spread out throughout the book who just have like a chapter, which I found really interesting. You get as much information as possible from this world, and the way it's written as well is that you don't get explicitly told stuff, but you get enough information that you can jump to your own conclusions. So you've got these two sort of separate timelines, and one is like after the apocalypse with Kirsten and the Traveling Symphony, and they get to this town called St. Deborah by the water, and the two people they left there to have their baby like 2 years ago aren't there anymore, and they need to find out what's happened to them, what's happened to this town, why is everyone acting so weird. And there's this prophet who is like your standard evangelical preacher, and he only goes by the name of the prophet. No one knows who he is or why he's there, but he's there and is taking control of the town. So they leave fairly quickly, and it follows them after they leave, like what happens to the group. And a lot of the jumping backwards in time is to explain what's happening in Kirsten's story in the present, or the 20 years later. This book, like, it's so well thought out. St. John Mandel has thought of pretty much everything that would happen with the fall of civilization, and she's included it. And it's so well thought out, and it's so well written that it's really hard to explain. I did find that even though the synopsis said it was about the other people in Arthur's life, I did find it was more about Kirsten and what happened with her, and there were a few things that I was upset with, like the end of the book. I can't really talk about that without it being a spoiler, so I will leave it in the first comment down below. But other than that, like, it's just a phenomenal book. The only thing I really had a problem with was the characterization. the characters were all like really unique and everything, but I didn't know what age they were. Like I knew what age they were. Jeevan was supposed to be about 40 or 50 by the time the book started. And I never got that impression from him. He didn't act like someone of that age group. The same with Kirsten. Kirsten's supposed to be nearly 30, and I didn't get that impression from her. The only time age becomes like a real relevant factor is at the end with Clark. You know, apart from that, it was pretty good. I gave it a solid 4.5 out of 5. I did give it 5 stars on Goodreads, but that's because I don't have a half rating. Why, Goodreads? Why? But I would definitely recommend picking this book up. Make sure you don't scroll down to the comments if you don't want to be spoiled. And I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!